Hi everyone! Today we are diving into a book that has transformed the way people communicate and build relationships for nearly a century. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Why do some people seem to effortlessly connect with others, while others struggle to be heard or be respected? What makes certain individuals incredibly persuasive and likable? Is there a secret formula for winning people over, both in business and personal life? Well, this book has the answers. It's packed with powerful principles that can completely change the way you interact with others. And trust me, once you understand these lessons, you'll never look at social interactions the same way again. So, let's explore some of the most life changing insights from this book and how you can start applying them today. Number 1. The power of a genuine smile and own name. Imagine walking into a shop and the assistant greets you warmly, using your name. Instantly, you feel valued, and that's because people love hearing their own name. It's one of the sweetest sounds to them. Carnegie emphasizes that remembering and using people's names makes them feel special and respected. And don't forget the power of a genuine smile. A warm, sincere smile is like a universal key that opens doors. It creates an immediate connection and puts others at ease. A simple smile can transform interactions, making you seem more approachable, trustworthy, and pleasant to be around. And the best part? It costs nothing but can bring huge rewards. Number 2. Show genuine interest in others. Have you ever met someone who talks only about themselves? Boring, isn't it? People don't care about how interesting you are, they care about how interested you are in them. If you want to make friends and influence people, become genuinely curious about them. Ask questions, listen actively, and find common ground. A great way to show interest is by remembering small details about people, like their hobbies, their passions, or even an event they mentioned to you previously. When you follow up later with something like, "How did your big presentation go?" or "Did you end up getting that dog you wanted?" It shows that you truly listened and cared. The more you focus on others, the more they will like you and respect you. Number 3. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Nobody likes being criticized, even if they are in the wrong. Criticism makes people defensive and damages relationships. Instead of condemning mistakes, try to understand why someone acted the way they did. This approach encourages cooperation rather than resentment. For example, if a colleague makes an error on a project, instead of saying, "This is completely wrong," try, "I see what you were aiming for here. Maybe we could adjust a few things to make it even better." This small shift in language can change how people respond to you. A little empathy and tact can turn conflicts into productive conversations. Number 4. The secret to being interesting? Be a great listener. The best conversationalists are actually great listeners. When someone tells you a story, don't just wait for your turn to speak. Really listen. Ask follow-up questions, react with enthusiasm, and show that you really value their words. People will walk away from a conversation with you thinking you're the most interesting person they ever met, even if you barely spoke. Why? Because they felt heard and appreciated. In a world where everyone wants to be noticed, giving someone your full attention is a rare and powerful gift. Number 5. Make the other person feel important. Everyone wants to feel valued, so how do you make someone feel important? Simple. Acknowledge their strengths, efforts, and contributions. A sincere compliment or a simple "I really appreciate what you did" can go a long way in strengthening relationships. If you make a habit of looking for the good in others and pointing it out, people will naturally be drawn to you. Just make sure your praise is genuine. People can sense flattery from a mile away. Number 6. Win arguments by avoiding them. Most arguments aren't about facts. They are about pride and emotions. Carnegie suggests that the best way to win an argument is to avoid it altogether. Instead of trying to prove someone wrong, try to understand their perspective. A better approach is to find common ground and frame your perspective in a way that aligns with theirs. So instead of saying, "You're wrong," try, "I see where you're coming from, but have you considered this angle?" If you approach discussions with an open mind rather than a need to be right, you'll be far more persuasive. Number 7. If you are wrong, admit it quickly. We all make mistakes, but how we handle them defines our character. Instead of making excuses, admit when you're wrong, quickly and sincerely. This not only shows confidence, but also earns you respect. People appreciate honesty and humility far more than defensiveness. In fact, admitting a mistake can often diffuse tension and turn an adversary into an ally. When you own up to your errors, people see you as a mature, self-aware, and trustworthy person. Number 8. Make others feel your idea was theirs. One of the most effective persuasion techniques is to let others think an idea was theirs. Instead of saying, "You should do this," try, "What do you think about this approach?" When people feel ownership over an idea, they are far more likely to support it. This is especially useful in leadership and teamwork. Guide people toward a conclusion rather than forcing it upon them. Number 9. Appeal to people's desires and self-interest. People are driven by their own interests. If you want to persuade someone, show them how it benefits them. For example, if you're trying to convince your boss to implement a new system, don't just say, "This is a great idea." Instead, explain how it will save the company money, reduce stress, or increase efficiency. Speak in terms of what matters to them. The more you frame your ideas around their personal gain, the more likely they are to listen. Number 10. End on a positive note. Whether you're giving feedback, resolving a conflict, or negotiating, always leave the conversation on a positive note. This keeps relationships strong and leaves the other person feeling respected rather than defeated. Even in difficult conversations, ending on an encouraging note makes all the difference. People don't just remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. Concluding, here's a simple action plan to start using these principles in your daily life. 1. Start using people's names and smiling more. 2. Listen more than you speak and show genuine interest in others. 3. Avoid criticism and focus on encouragement. 4. Make people feel important and valued. 5. When in doubt, ask yourself, how can I make this person feel good about themselves? By following these principles, you'll notice a dramatic improvement in your relationships, whether in business, with your friends, or even with strangers. And that's all for today, guys. Tell me in the comments which of these lessons mark you the most. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe for more tips on personal development and investments. And if you haven't watched it yet, click on the link in the description to see the summary of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.